Did you watch SmackDown, Konnan?
Yep.
All right. Well, I did too. Some interesting things on the show. Okay. Number one, they start off with Roman. He comes to the ring. He's going to be interviewed by Caleb Braxton. He is very misogynistic towards her and calls her very unprofessional, and basically just treats her like a jerk.
What are we talking about here?
The opening segment on SmackDown with Roman and Uso and Paul, which he's getting interviewed by Caleb Braxton.
Right.
Okay. Decent. He's just being heelish. That's fine. She's very, very green on the mic. You notice that?
Right. And I don't like how they've made her in the last few weeks. Like she's kind of a smart ass and she asks these questions that a rookie wouldn't be asking.
Right. And she's a scripted smart ass. Yeah. It's like you can tell that's not her personality and she's delivering these lines and it's not coming across. Like I said, she's very green, you know? But honestly, she should, if you're doing an interview like this, she should ask tough questions. She's just asking them in a very wooden...
Right, but like, for example, last week, there's no way somebody that just broke into the business would get up in Jay's face and say stuff like, oh, yeah, is it okay for me to talk to her? Will you get in trouble with Roman? Like kind of,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's something maybe Mean Gene or a veteran that the boys know. Because if you did that in UFC, the Conor McGregor, anybody like that, they'd tell her to go themselves.
Let me give you a perfect example. You're absolutely right. Where they're trying to get with this storyline where she's questioning them, she's just asking the questions in the wrong way. Like she could ask like Jim Gray, ask a tough question, but she's asking in like an over the top, scripted, why just something that you would never write. It's something you wouldn't. An interview would not be polite in asking, like the way she asked.
Right, and she's done it a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Did you see at the beginning when they had like everybody on the stage, like Vince? You starting to show his age, you know what I'm saying? Like you're so used to seeing him raw and long, young looking, like he kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It looks like they, obviously he's older, but almost like they did a bad makeup job on him. Like his eyebrows were very strange, that they stood out. So he didn't look like himself. He didn't look normal.
I didn't notice that, but I did notice Shane Helms in the back. Obviously, we have to show him the fine of arts of where to stand. If you're going to be in a group of people, stand behind Vince.
He's no clue how to get himself over. And he's just going to probably say, if somebody asks about it, he's going to say, well, I'm not there to get myself over. I'm there to get the talent. I'll be like, whatever. It's like, if I was a fan, I would be smarter to try and get in the shot and people be like the main focus.
I remember someone pointed that out before, Konnan, the WCW Nitro where Rick Rude came out and debuted after he jumped from WWE. You're right over Eric's shoulder the whole time. You're in the whole frame when Rude's doing his speech.
Right. Yeah. And also, what I like about this, as usual, Roman taking a sweet ass time to get to the ring, which to show how pompous and how much he thinks of himself, right? And then I did like when Paulie took the microphone away from Kayla or whatever her name is and reintroduced him the correct way. I like that. Then they showed, I like this, how every week I always say there's little things I like. So I like when they showed this video package of Roman berating Jay, all the he's fucked up and he's had to basically tell him off. And then Roman never really turns his head, Disco. He never turns his head. He looks at him as his peripherals, like mad, showing disgust, and the camera catches it perfectly. And then you see Paul Lee selling that, and they show Jay's reaction. It's just those little things I really like a lot. What else did I have here?
That's way enough for this segment. There's nothing more to talk about.
So he does. I do like how he berates. He says, "This is the biggest thing you ever done on. This is the biggest thing you ever done on SmackDown. And you come and you ask stupid questions. You have the privilege of asking the head of a table a question, and you ask a stupid question. So I like all of that. It's very well done. Yeah."
Next is Bailey and Natalya. They took three characters, and the only one that got over is the one that they haven't been doing anything with in for weeks. Of just you got Bailey and Natalya. The what's her name shows up on Bianca Belair's on commentary. She's not entertaining, and Natalya beats Bailey clean. I mean, I didn't get what were they trying to do here? Because Bianca Belair didn't get over. Bailey got buried, and Natalya got a win. But like a win ain't going to help her. She needs to be in an angle. Like just getting one win for her these days is nothing. What do you think of this?
Okay, before I tell you what I had written down, we also forgot that in this thing, Kevin Owens came out, and
right. It challenged up, right.
Right, and I love the part where Roman goes, hey, I'm a gentleman. There's a lady in the ring, like right. After everything he's done, now all of a sudden he's a gentleman. So anyway, the Natalia Bailey thing, Bianca's on commentary. They do nothing with Natalia. Then in a match, and then during most of the match was during a commercial, okay? And then Natalia beats Bailey for what? They've been doing nothing with her. What does this do for her? I mean, she's this 50-50 booking helps no one. You know what I'm saying?
No.
The only good thing about it is that Bianca, who we've brought this up before, is so incredibly athletic. She's finally going to learn how to work with Bailey and not just, rely on spots.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear this news report on Owens versus Reigns?
Sure.
Who?
Kevin Owens versus Reigns.
What do you mean? What?
I was just looking
news
up.
Report
news report. It says, according to Fightful Select, the angle on SmackDown last week drew a lot of praise backstage. The positive reaction is nothing new for Roman Reigns' segments. He's been widely praised for his quality since his surprise SummerSlam return. Owens was able to come back and insert himself right on top of the blue brand with his promos. That was highly respected as well. After Owens was relegated to little or no use for months, several that we spoke to felt that he was able to rise to the occasion and match Reigns from a promo perspective. Ringside News also wrote up an extensive exclusive report on how Reigns is treated differently in WWE. His angles are given special consideration, both on television and in the creative process. Paul Heyman, Vince McMahon, Michael Hayes, and Reigns himself have the input, and that is kept out of the hands of the traditional writing team.
Well,
that's why it's so good.
That would explain it.
Promo guys, Michael Hayes and Paul Eve, fine tuning or whatever they're doing, and the other guys delivering great.